Okay. Should we give it a start now? I think it's 17
Yeah, that's okay.
past. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's session where we will be looking at how to create Power Pages and what exactly are Power Pages? One might be asking. And these are simply just websites that you can create using Power Pages, and the websites can then be deployed, securely, and they are basically enterprise grade, low code, software as a service platform, which is used for creating and hosting websites, websites. So external facing business websites, you can pretty much create them using Power Pages. So uh, just a quick one. Can you all see my screen before I carry on? Because I could be yapping away and you can't see my screen.
Yes.
Uh, is my screen visible?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Did you hear me from the beginning? Because I think my microphone was off.
Yeah, hear you perfectly.
Sorry.
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly. We heard you from the beginning.
Okay, fantastic. I think for a second there, I was wondering because my headphones seem to be off, or I clicked them, by mistake. So essentially, with Power Pages, as I said before, we are trying to create secure enterprise grade external facing business websites that can be used for various business purposes. And like everything within the Power Platform family, these come secure, and they are they use the low code principles, but also you've got professional developers. They can go on and exploit these Power Pages by designing, reconfiguring these websites, and you can actually publish them across web browsers or devices. So you can do this on your for mobile gadgets, for your tablets as well. And they do come, or they provide rich customizable templates. So when you create a site, you will notice in a little while, once we start creating Power Pages, that you are faced with various templates which come in built, and then you can build on top of that template. So you don't really need to, code from scratch. And also the beauty is it uses, you know, the drag and drop principle, like, you know, what we experienced yesterday with Canvas apps. And I think within the Power Platform family, this is the latest child or family member to come to the Power Platform family. And what you can also do with Power Pages is you can hook them up to your Microsoft database that you use, you know, for your building of apps, you know, for your virtual agents, your reporting, you know, with other Power Platform components within your organization. And you can easily try this for free. You can spin up a trial instance. Once you do that, you have access to, you know, the studio, which is the Power Pages Design Studio. So when you create a website using Power Pages, essentially, when it comes to editing that website or the pages, as it were, you would do that through the Power Pages Design Studio. But the application itself, it automatically pushes you or puts you into the PP Design Studio, and then you can start, you know, editing your created sites in there. So maybe if we start, so here at the bottom, it's just two test sites that I had created. But the first thing to be able to create this, what you need to do is you need to navigate to Microsoft.powerpages, to make.powerpages.microsoft.com, and I'll put the link in the chat so that everyone can see that. So when you navigate onto this page, the one thing that you would need to do is you need to go there where it says create your site. So I'm just going to do a quick test here. So when you hit the create site button, you are then, you know, taken to this page where you've got various templates that you know, you can use, and you can choose whatever.
Sorry, Dan. Sorry, 1 minute, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Dan. Can you go back a bit? Okay. How did you get here? Sorry, I kind of lost.
Okay. Come on. Okay, so maybe I think so when you log in, it takes you onto this page here.
Okay, thanks.
And then as you can see, it will ask you a few questions. Have you built you know, any websites before? If not, you click here. If you've built one before, if you're a professional, you click on that one. So in our case, probably start with that one.
So sorry, Dan. When you log in, right, you go to the make powerpages.microsoft.com, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Are you saying that is where it's going to take you to? Is that
indeed.
Oh, okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. So once you put in that URL and you log in, it will take you to the screen that we saw just a little while ago. Now it's whinging. Yeah, it essentially takes you onto here. So this is the second step though, but let me see if I can go back. Yeah, so it takes you onto here. That should be your landing page. And then from here, you then go on to select, the one that's appropriate, to you. And in our case, I'll probably start with that one. We haven't created websites before, and then it takes you onto this page here. And on this page, you'll notice that there are different templates which are available, and you can choose whichever template you might want to use. So before you choose your template, you've got the ability to preview that template just to see, what it would look like. So if we were to choose this particular template, notice this is how, our page is going to look like on the desktop. And if we want to have a look at it, on the mobile device, it would look like this. So that's how, the pages will render on your device, your mobile device. So there's various templates depending on which one you want to use. You select that one. So in this case, maybe let's just choose this one. And then what happens is it takes you onto the next page where you need to give your site a name. So I'll call this one Blue Sky. And also it gives you a web address. If you notice, it already comes in there, but if you've got your own web address, when you do the deployment, you can always change this so that it matches your particular web address that you've got. And then from here, all we need to do is just to say done. Then it will take you onto this particular page where it will start spinning up the environment and doing the needful behind the scenes. So this is what you will see. So now it's getting our site ready. So that's the first couple of steps that you need to do. It will run for a bit of time before your website is ready, but for the sake of brevity, I will go and select one of these two that I had already created. So now we've already got our website or our Power Pages, this one here. Now we want to start editing the Power Pages. You click on edit. It will then take you into the Design Studio. Right. So there you go. You can see now we've got our Power Pages already using the templates that we chose. So you will see that there are quite a few tabs which are on the left-hand side. And here you can see, you know, various sections that you can play around with, the layout and so on and so forth. So if I click on next, I'm just gonna close this. On this. So on here, you will see this is, you know, our website, and you can choose different themes that, you know, you would want to work with. So there's various themes that are available, if you notice. And I think for the sake of this session, I don't know, we can choose the purple one, or we can choose, you know, a blue one. Since we are blue sky, let's go with something, you know, more on the blue side. And then you notice we've got our styling on there. But before we even go on there, if you notice on the left-hand side, there are a few tabs, all these tabs here. And there's various things that are, you know, contained within these tabs. You've got your pages, you've got your styling, how you would want to style your pages. And then you've got the data and setup, and you know, in the ellipsis, you get a few more options in there, which is, you know, your automated workflows, or, you know, your advanced configuration of your site. So I think styling, let's say for argument's sake, we'd want to go with this particular, you know, theme. I'll just save this theme, and that will be our theme. And then if I go on to pages at the top here, and notice it already comes, you know, with some pages which are already pre-built for you. And the navigation bar is right at the top here. And as you can see, this is where our menus are, and that's where you select, you know, the various pages. If you want to go to a particular page that you would want to go to. So before we go too far, what I'll probably do is just to do a preview of this particular website. So once you hit preview, there's two things that you can do. You can preview the site, you know, at desktop size, desktop size, or you've got this QR code that you can scan on your mobile, and it will render in your mobile device. So if we go and do it for the desktop, we should be able to see the website coming up shortly. And whilst this is doing whatever it's doing in the background, does anyone have any questions so far? Okay, silence is good. So I take it we are all going in the same direction. And also what I can do here, let's see what's in here. Yeah, that's, so if you go into here, you would see our 3 active websites that we've got. So we've got the GDS site, which we are playing around with at the present moment. And there's also these other 2 that I spun up. So I spun up this one earlier on, but this one was done a long time ago. So forget about this one. Now we go onto our website. You can notice this is how our website, would render. So already you've got, a proper layout of your website. And if we decide to navigate to pages, you can see that here we've got 2 sub pages. If I click on that particular sub page, it takes me onto this sub page. If I go back to home, it then takes me back to the home page. And if I go on to contact us, it should redirect me to the contact us page. Here, this is our contact us page. So if I go back to our design, one of the things that you can easily do is, for instance, you can see that we've got this page right at the top here, which is the parent of these 2 sub pages. And if you've got another page like the contact us page, you can easily nest it underneath another page as well, so that it sits under that tree. So if you notice here now on our navigation, I don't have the contact us page sitting on its own. It's now nested underneath this top page here. But should you wish, you can always promote this to a sub page, and then you can see now it's sitting outside, and I've got it there now, displaying on its own. So with Power Pages, the beauty of Power Pages is it uses, the what you see is what you get principle. Remember in uni we used to call it WYSIWYG. And basically what you can see on here on the design canvas is how it's going to render in your website as well. And there's a lot of things that you can do. If I come into the header section here, I can edit it and do quite a lot of things in there. So for instance, if it decides to load, we can change the logos, we can change the titles. There's quite a lot that we can do. So here, I'll probably call it, Blue Sky. And if we had, a different logo, we can change it from here. And then you choose the appropriate logo that you would want. But you probably need, to have, the right logo first. And it's always good to make sure that your logo sizes resembles, or matches the sizes that are already in here, so that, it can fit perfectly well. The other thing that you can do as well, you can, from here, you can upload images that you would want to use in your logo. So from there, you select whatever logo that you want to use, or you can toggle out to say, you know what, I don't want to use a logo. I just want to have my name on there. or the name of the organization, and that's it. And then from here, if I then go back again to preview, our site should come up. If you notice now, our site clearly states that we are Blue Sky Citadel. But also at the same time, there is quite a lot that you can do, with in terms of changing things or moving things around, as it were. So if I probably go on to this particular subpage here, if you notice on here, you've got the ability, to put extra sections or extra, sections or extra core spaces if you so wish. So for instance, if I just decide to put, an extra space here, and then from there, let's say, for instance, I want to put an extra section. In that particular section, there's various things that you can embed into that particular section. It could be text, it could be buttons, it could be images or videos, forms, lists, Power BI components, spacers, iframes, and so on and so forth. So I think for now, I would say, let's try and embed a video. So there's 2 or 3 things that you can do. You can embed a YouTube video. You can embed a Microsoft stream, or you can embed, any other video URL. So let me see if I can find something random from YouTube, so that we embed it in there. Bear with me 1 second.
Hello, everyone. In this week,
so I've just taken a random YouTube video and I've embedded it into our web page. So for now, if you notice, I'll then go back and do our preview again, and boom, we've got our YouTube video. And if I play it, it plays.
Hi everyone. In this video, we will take a
without any issues. So there's quite a lot of things that you can do, with Power Pages. And if you notice here, there's different things that I can embed in here, like images and so on and so forth. And if I go on to this particular section here, there's things that I can do as well without, using any code. So I can edit the background. Maybe let's see if we can put, a bit of gray so that it looks, slightly distinct. And also, we can say, how we would want to render things horizontally or vertically, the layout itself, what columns we would want, to use. If you want to use a single column, 3 columns, or 2 columns, it's up to you. And on there, we can then adjust, the height and, the margins. And with this particular section, if you want maybe, you know, to duplicate it and have another section which is pretty much similar, but maybe have different content just underneath that, you can simply just, you know, duplicate. Or for instance, I might want to push this column, you know, a little bit further up. So I can always just move it up and you can see, boom, it's sitting right at the top. And likewise, if I want to, you know, move it down, it goes just underneath there. Or should I wish to just get rid of it altogether, you can just use, you know, the delete button. So there is quite, you know, a lot of things that you can do with Power Pages, and you don't really need to know any coding at all. But if you are a professional developer, yes, you can actually do that. And, you know, you can start playing with your code, but you do it through Visual Studio. So if I go on to our home page, here, if you notice, we've got a button. And, you know, with this button, there's things that we can do, you know, in terms of call to action. And call to action, you're essentially saying, what do I want to do when this button is created? So it could be, you know, you redirect to, you know, another page. So here, probably let's start by renaming. No, I think this one is all right. This one is okay. So if I go into a button and edit it, so what you can do, you know, behind that button is various things that you can do with the button. You can, you know, link it to a URL, or you can link it to another page. So let's say, for argument's sake, we want to link this button to maybe our contact us page. What I'll probably do is just change this so that it makes sense. So now we want to make sure that when someone clicks on that button, it redirects them onto the contact us page. So if I do that, and then I do our preview, and right now it's yeah. So if you notice our button, we've changed it to contact us. And then if we click on that, you will notice that it redirects us onto the contact us page. So, you know, our call to action seems to be working quite well. And with the button itself, you know, you can style it in different ways. So now it's, you know, styled in the primary way, or you can alternatively say, you know what, I want to style it, you know, using the secondary way. That you can do as well. I'll just revert it back to that. And if there's anything that you need to do, you know, in terms of pushing it to the left for left alignment, or if you want to push it to the center or right alignment, you can do that as well. As well as, you know, you can specify the minimum width of the button, as well as the height itself. So depending on what you want to do, you can change it here. And also, if you want to duplicate, you can easily just come here and duplicate the button, or should you wish to delete it, you can delete it from there. So I think in a nutshell, we can now see, the power of Power Pages and how low code, no code, can be used by people that haven't got, much development experience. But people can actually start, creating websites and creating decent websites, and you can, get these websites, to be external facing. And on here, let's say for argument's sake, on the home page, we want to add, a sub page, but I'll probably try and do it on here. That will make sense. So here we might want to add, a sub page. So maybe we've got Blue Sky. So Blue Sky does courses. So let's say, your sub page is going to be, displaying course information. What you also need to do is you select, the layout that you want. Do you want the layout to be in this particular page, which is just a page or a landing page, or in this particular fashion? Whatever the case may be. So let's say we want our page to look like that. I'll edit. Notice we've got our courses page displayed there. So that's how, you can continuously build on this and have more pages, and you can nest these pages, or you can have just a page like for instance, this one, we might say we want to promote it because we want it to be a page that sits on its own. So if you notice, it will be there, and on the way on the sitemap is there, it resides on its own. So all you need to then do is just go in there and you change, your text, you put in maybe some images if you want to, and whatever else you might need to do. Or you might decide, what, I want to add, an extra section. You can do that. So maybe let's say maybe we want to go with a section that has got three that you can add 3 components. So you can do that as well. And then within each section, you then decide to add whatever it is that you need to add in there, be it text, be it buttons, or videos, images, or if you want, to connect it to Power BI, and you can have your Power BI data getting exposed from there. So at a high level, that's the power of Power Pages. And for this, I think it's easy for people just to go onto Power Pages, create a trial, and you'll be able to play around with this. And you'll be shocked, the functionality that resides within Power Pages, and what you might be able, to create using Power Pages. So I don't know, does anyone have a question so far? And the other thing as well is because there are, varied templates in there. So, sorry, go on.
Yeah. So, do we have the concept of plugins? Like, for instance, if I want to do like registration or login, that I can just drag a component that's got everything in mapped to get it now, or I want to do like a payment gateway, I can just kind of call a particular plugin or function or component to be able to do that. Do we have that concept as well? Or you have to
There's quite a lot, but with I think that sort of like complex functionality, it's probably something that you then need to go through coding, and that would be, your friend if you want to do complex stuff.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, thank you.
In terms of data, let's just quickly go through there. So you can notice here, you can easily, create your tables. So for those that have used SQL, I think this is how, our tables look like. And you can easily edit, the table properties. You can put in some data into the table. You can have views in there as well. All kinds of views and forms that you can create in there. In terms of
So
setup,
you can use the forms for like feedbacks or what's it called, surveys, right? Is that right?
yeah, I would probably say for feedback and surveys, in terms of the Power Platform family, the best tool would be, voice, customer voice.
But is that one also client facing as well, or you have to have access to
So with
kind of
customer voice, what you simply need to do is you can create your surveys, but you create them, like yourselves internally, but it gives you the ability to, if you want to embed, a survey into a website, or you can just send people a link via email, and they will do their, they will put in information, the records of information. That information then comes back to you, and you'll be able to see that information, at a more granular level, or, you can decide, what, I want to see it in a more aggregated fashion.
Okay, so you create the survey, then you get the embedded code, and you can put it on your website. And also, you can also put it on these Power Pages as well, right? As embedded code.
Yeah. You can do that.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Mhm. And what usually what happens, with customer voice is it it gives you, it's more like a feedback management application, like an enterprise feedback management solution that you use, to track, your customer metrics and things like that. And what it does, it gives you rich insights by feeding, into real-time survey data, customer records. So you create, your surveys based on your customer feedback, and you can actually do this, in minimal time. It's not complicated at all, and you create, the forms as and how you would want, to create them. And once you do that, first you go in there, like the standard thing, you create a project, and then you go in the project, and then you put, the various other things that you would want to put in there. But it's quite a powerful tool, if I might say, because it allows you to get what the customer is actually thinking, about your organization. And from there, I think as an organization, it becomes easier to then, prepare, for how you deliver, be it your products or services to your clients, because you know exactly what it is that they are after. And if they are not happy, about certain parts of your service, they will highlight it, and it gives you an opportunity, to address those things before you lose any customers, as it were.
Thank you, Dan. This is really interesting, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, and when you finish, when you finish the page, right, or the site, what happens? What do you do in terms of the process of deployment, actually? So, or how would the users or the client-facing users will be able to see the page?
Yeah, so you can then go onto your site visibility, and then you start to configure how you would want to make it visible, and you go through all those iterations of making sure that you deploy it, and deploy it properly, so that you don't have any issues. So at the present moment, if you notice, our site is only private, so it's only the sysadmin administrators that will be able to access it. But we can then decide, what, we want to take our site public. Once we set it public, then it's visible to the outside world.
But what would the URL be?
I remember when we created it initially, it came with that
With the Power Apps
funny little URL.
Okay.
Yeah. So
but if you have to deploy it to your domain, right? Is that possible? Or do you have to download the code and deploy it? Or
I'll be very honest with you, that I haven't done, but I think it's something that can easily be done, putting it onto your domain.
Okay.
Yeah. Or
yeah, it could be, maybe you have to use it like a, what's it called, create a subdomain, or maybe you go to your website and make it like you cost this particular one. So even though it's hosted on Power Apps, but you will be displaying directly on your website. But I can look into it anyway, because I'm really interested in how this works anyway. So
yeah.
We can host it on our server.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you need anything else, just let me know, and I can try and find the necessary answers. As you know, my domain is Dynamics 365. not really Power Pages, but yeah, having come from a developer background, some of these things, you would have done it. And it's sort of like, still within you. So
Yeah, I think it's really, really useful. Thank you so much for this.
yes. So if you notice, this is the domain that we had when we created the site. But there's ways you can use your own domain. So for instance, if you've got blueskycitadel.com or .co.uk, there's ways you can change it, and then you can start using that one. But it's probably worth just finding out, from your hosting company.
Yeah, I think I can. I've got a few ideas on how this will work actually. So you can pack that domain to point to this particular domain, so that when they go to www, that it shows the content here, but sometimes it doesn't actually like redirect it. Actually, it just redirects to this particular URL anyway. But there's two ways to do those things anyway, but that is fine. But another thing is the ability to copy the code itself and then dump it on the server. If that is possible, then that's kind of, that's better. So you know that the code resides on your server, not on Microsoft's Power App.
That I'm not 100%. But like I said, you've got the ability to edit the code using Visual Studio. So if you can hook in with Visual Studio, then you should be able to have your code.
Okay, that's brilliant.
Once you have your code, then I think, you can pretty much do whatever you want if the code is yours. Yeah.
Okay.
But on that one, don't quote me for now. I'm not 100% on that one. But I can always try and find out.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you notice, that's our Power Pages in a nutshell. And in a short space of time, you can see that we were able to do quite a lot on here. And imagine if you were going to be coding these pages from scratch. It will take you a lot of time, because you're looking at doing your HTML, you're looking at doing your CSS, the styling, and then also adding on, all these, bits and bobs in there. If you are going to put in, any widgets and stuff, it would be, a humongous task. And it will take you forever to create, a decent website with, a couple of pages. But here, if you notice, we were able to play around with, a couple of pages in a matter of minutes. So it's a tool that, can be used to do quite a lot in a short space of time, and it saves you, a humongous amount of time. So that's want to go to the home page. Let's see. Yeah. And I don't know, earlier on, did you ask about signing in, DG?
Yeah, I did.
I did.
I was asking if there's a plugin to do that automatically without having to write the code. Do you get?
Oh yeah. So for this sign-in bit, it's already in there, and you can do your registration as well.
Okay.
It comes pre-built, so someone will just pop in their email, username, password, confirm, and register. Next
And
time, all they will
you
need to
can,
do is just
you
to use
can edit the field as well to add more field, right?
yeah,
Into
yeah.
the registration. Okay. Okay, okay.
So yeah, it's I'll probably say it's a really powerful tool that people can use and organizations can use. Remember how much it used to cost a couple of years ago just to try and get a website built. It will cost you, a lot of money. Even nowadays, if you want a decent website, it will probably still cost you, a fair chunk of change. But with this, you can start to build your own websites, slowly but surely. And with a bit of practice, you should be able, to get into a decent shape or get your websites into a decent shape in a short period of time.
So, Dan, 1 minute. The login one, right? Where is that page here? The login page or registration page? If someone needs to edit it, where do we go to?
The login page, let me just double check here. This is our other pages, so these are not found in So it must be somewhere around. I'll be very honest with you, I haven't played with those pages before.
Okay, don't worry. Oh, I'll find it out when I lay my hands on it. It's just here. I won't follow the like as in creating myself anyway. So
yeah, I think from the front end here, it's not yeah, I don't think you can access it from here to change the code, but once you get into the actual code itself,
okay.
there should be a module for the login page, and you can always play around with it.
Is that not search? Is that not beside it? Is that not a search functionality?
This one here.
No. Beside the edit code.
This one here.
Okay, it's the Zoom one, isn't it?
It's just to zoom in and out.
Yeah, because I thought that it's possible to search for a particular page that you are looking for.
I don't think you can look. You can see that from the front end. Yeah, I think all the pages. What they've done is they've just put all the pages here, and the login and sign in page. Probably because they don't want people to mess around too much with that, because you know that with those pages you need to know the code, and know exactly what you're doing. Hence, they've not probably displayed it, up front. But if you go into the code, yeah, you should be able to find that module.
Okay.
And I think, in all fairness, those are things that are usually done by people that really know what to do with websites, like seasoned developers.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think, I'm not sure if any other person has got any question. If not, I think because when people are quiet, it means that they're a lot to absorb.
That's what I'm thinking.
There are a lot to absorb. Maybe we can take a pause, yes, and come next week. So when they absorb everything. So,
yeah.
Godwin.
All right. I don't know. Maybe we'll. Sorry, go on.
Good evening, Dana. Good evening, everybody. I just want to ask how this compares with WordPress.
Sorry, I didn't catch the last part.
How does this compare with WordPress?
Yeah, I can answer that then.
Okay.
Yeah, to be honest, it's so similar. I would say it's the same anyway. WordPress is also low code application as well. So the only difference I can say is developed by different company actually. So I don't know. Maybe WordPress is more robust than this actually, because before Power App is created, WordPress has been before then. Maybe Microsoft found that there's a niche in that area, so they start to move into it right now. But to be honest, there's no much of difference. There are a lot of applications like this as well in the market. It's not only Power Apps only. There's also, I think, our system, Magento, Drupal,
Joomla.
WordPress. Yeah,
And
exactly.
you've got
Yeah.
things like Wix as well.
And Wix as well. So I think Amazon is doing it. There are a lot, even Facebook is doing their own as well. So because now developers don't want to write code, neither do we as well. So it's a really a niche out there anyway. So, but of course, you know, when Microsoft is interested in things, yeah, which is big actually. So yeah, there's no difference, to be honest. It's totally the same, I would say. Yeah. And I know, Godwin, once you know how to use Power, what's it called, WordPress, this should be walk in the park for you, actually, as I know you already know how to use it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably add on to say,
Thank you.
across the board, the principles are pretty much similar.
Yeah.
So if you've used one of the other, applications, this, shouldn't phase you at all, because the principles are quite similar.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions from anyone else?
So if there's